welcome back to the Embeemakes knitting channel. My name is Melissa and I'm the maker behind Embeemakes here on YouTube, on Ravelry and on Instagram. I'm here today with the most exciting video of all the year, which is my Everything I Knit in 2025 video. I'm filming this on the last day of the year, hope to still publish it today or otherwise tomorrow. But yeah, wishing you a happy new year already. So let's close off the year with showing you everything that I've knit for myself. I also did some gift knitting, which I won't be able to show today, but you will have probably seen if you watched my podcast episodes. But yeah, let's dive in. Let's first start off with some stats. I knitted 6 garments this year, which are 2 t-shirts, 2 sweaters and 2 cardigans. I knitted various different constructions, round yoke, raglan and drop shoulder. This year I knit 5 gift knits, of which 1 hat, 1 baby bonnet, 2 scarves and a pair of socks. And my most used needle size of this year is probably the 4mm needle, as I love working with DK weight yarn and also just love that gauge. I also use like a fingering with a mohair or 2 strands of fingering held together. I find that a comfortable yarn weight to knit with and also very wearable when it's finished. So those are my stats for 2025. I will also share some of my favorites of this year at the end of this video, so definitely stay tuned if you want to know who my favorite designer was and what my favorite yarn was of this year. So I will first start off with my garments and then move on to the smaller accessories. If there's any information that you are missing about these projects when I talk about them, definitely leave me a comment down below and I will try to answer them. And otherwise you can also check out my Ravelry where I have some more notes on these. I will also try and put the price of the garments on the screen. I still need to calculate those, but I really want to see what each garment has cost me in terms of yarn, not necessarily the time I've spent on it, but just the price of the yarn I purchased for that garment, so that when you want to make one for yourself, that you can see what I paid for the yarn that I used, if you're interested as well. I have my stack here in front of me. Let's start off with my more summery knits. The first one I have here is my Lusk tee by the Creabea. I finished this, I think in the fall, September somewhere. So I didn't get to wear this yet. I have worn it, I think once maybe at home, but I haven't worn this out yet. It is knit with 2 strands of fingering weight yarn held together. I used the yarn from the Mindful Creators, her lovely linen base. So this is hand-dyed solid color. And it's in this beautiful purple and then this very, very light green. So it's not really a beige, but it really feels as a neutral with the purple. And yeah, I'm hoping to wear this a lot this coming spring season. The fit turned out slightly tighter than I had in mind, but I don't think that will be a problem. It is pretty dense, so maybe I could have gone up a needle size. I'm not sure which needle I used for this, but I think I went down a needle size to get a tighter fabric, but yeah, that of course means that it's thicker and of course tighter. I'm not sure if I'm on gauge, but it does fit. It's just a little bit different than the intent for the pattern, but that's okay. I think I'll still be able to wear this in the spring when it's not too warm yet, but also not very cold. I'll also pop in some video footage or photos of me wearing each garment. I won't be trying them on right now because then I get way too hot from changing in and out of clothes. I also want to rate each of my garments here. And for this one, I think I will give it a 7. As I've not worn it yet, I can't really judge it on how it will wear. But yeah, I think it's a very nice finished object. The yarn was lovely to work with and I really love this color. The pattern was also very clear. It's a pattern by the Creabea, which I've knit from before, and I really like the construction and the detail here on the back. I went with a 4-stripe sequence for this t-shirt, but you could also do it in a solid or other stripe sequence. But yeah, I think it turned out great. Just not sure how it will wear yet, but I will definitely give you an update on it when the weather gets warmer again. The next one is my Peacock tee. This is a design by Leknit or Lineholm Samsu, and I've knit this in Drops Bell in this beautiful light blue color. I think it suits me really well. I've really enjoyed wearing it this spring. I finished it in March, I believe. I had cast this on already in 2024, but I had only managed to finish the yoke and one sleeve, I think. So I knitted the body and the other sleeve this year and finished it in March. So I got a lot of wear out of it in the spring and summer. Not so much in the fall anymore, because to me this is not really a color that I wear in the fall. But I think it's still a very stunning t-shirt. The yarn I've worked with before, the Drops Bell, and it works really well for summer tees for me. And I've knit this mostly to pattern, although I did make, I think, 1 or 2 decrease rounds in the body to make it slightly more straight, because otherwise it tends to stretch out a bit more at the bottom. I've seen with some of my previous t-shirts, but this is definitely a favorite of mine. And I really love this yarn. So for rating, I'm rating this a 9 out of 10. Sad thing is that I can only wear this when it's not too hot or not too cold. So yeah, only spring and summer days where it's not too hot. But I really love wearing this garment and I can definitely recommend the pattern. And the next one is my most recently finished object. And it hasn't been on here yet on the channel, but if you follow me over on Instagram, you will have seen it already. This is my Pippin cardigan by the Creabea, and it has these beautiful pearly buttons that I bought in the spring at a yarn festival with my sister, and I thought they would be lovely on this gorgeous, fluffy and textured cardigan. The sun is coming out. I hope the lighting doesn't change too much. But yeah, so this is my Pippin cardigan. I knit this using Vilcolana Arvetta and Vilcolana Tilia. I've talked about this a bunch since I have started this 2 years ago, and now it is finally finished. It's been a bit in the hibernation corner for a long while, but now I finally got through it and I finished it. I did make some adjustments. I did a 1x1 rib bottom band instead of the double knit bottom band, just because I wasn't feeling like doing the double knitting. It takes a long while and I really wanted to have this finished. But also I think the 1x1 rib bottom band really matches the 1x1 rib on the cuffs and the hem. And I have another cardigan with 1x1 rib, and I think it looks fine. It's very neat still to me. And yeah, this is a more dressy cardigan to me, with the mohair, the texture and the pearly buttons. I have worn it to dinner already last week, but not that much after. We'll see how much wear I get out of this in the coming months. This will definitely be a piece that I will be able to wear to work, so that's good as well. And yeah, I'm rating this an 8 out of 10 for now. It's a beautiful piece. The pattern was very clear. I'm really happy with this finished object, and yeah, I can definitely recommend this pattern as well. The next one I have here is the first garment I finished this year, and that is my Monday sweater by Petiteknit. I really wanted to have this finished at the beginning of the year so that I could wear it to London. I will maybe pop in a picture here from me wearing this in London. Because I had bought the yarn for this the previous year when I was in London with my partner, well, now husband. A lot has changed this year. So yeah, I'm very happy with this finished object. I've worn this a lot. I've had to depill it already a little bit throughout the year because I've just worn it so much. It's also really soft, so I think that's normal for it to pill, but it's not too bad in my opinion. Yarn is also not that expensive. I used 5 skeins for this sweater. Well, 4.5, a little over 4.5 maybe. So yeah, with 5 skeins you can knit a large size sweater. I think this is the large. And it's just perfect. I knit it to my preferred length. This ribbing also looks very neat. And yeah, you can see a little bit of pilling. I have depilled it recently, I believe. Well, you have some pilling here at the underarms, so need to depill that, but that's not too difficult or doesn't take too long. And yeah, I also absolutely love this color. I think it looks really good on me. I've gotten a lot of compliments already when I wore this. So yeah, I think you can tell this is definitely a favorite for me. And I'm rating this a 10 out of 10. It's a Petiteknit pattern, so it works really nicely. It's well written, fit is great. And yeah, the yarn combination of color and the softness of the yarn. This is a BFL yarn, so Blue Faced Leicester, and I've really enjoyed working with this yarn. So much that I have bought more of this yarn to make another sweater, but more on that towards the end. So yeah, a 10 out of 10 for me for the pattern, the yarn, just this finished sweater. Yeah, I love it. Then in the spring I knitted another cardigan while I still had my Pippin cardigan on the needles. I knitted this entire cardigan. This is another pattern by Petiteknit. This is the Olga jacket. And I saw someone on Instagram who had used this color combination for this exact cardigan. And when I saw it, I thought, well, I should knit that for me. It would look amazing with the green and the tweedy neutral color in between. So I bought the exact same yarn. This is knit with Peer Gynt. And yeah, I will link the colors in my Ravelry page. But yeah, I absolutely love this color combination. I think it looks great. The cardigan itself, I haven't worn it that much because when I finished it, we were close to summer, so it was way too warm to wear this. And this is actually a pretty thick and dense cardigan, but very warm and also a bit rustic, so I can't really wear it with a t-shirt underneath. It's a little bit itchy for me. But I think this winter season with long sleeve, it will be great to wear. And one regret I do have is that I've knitted maybe a tiny bit too short. I'll show on the footage maybe. I would have preferred it to be maybe like 1 or 2 stripes longer. It's obviously to no fault of the pattern. I didn't follow the pattern length. I usually don't because I just try it on. But with a cardigan I find it more difficult to reach a good length. Although for my Pippin cardigan I did get a good length. I made sure to really don't stop too soon, because with cardigans you can't really lengthen it afterwards if it's too short. For a sweater you can just cut off or just knit it longer from the ribbing on. But for a cardigan, since you do the bottom bands afterwards, you would have to undo the entire collar and bottom band and then knit it longer. And yeah, I really don't want to do that. It's fine, it's not too cropped, but for my preference and for this thick of a cardigan that I could just wear as a jacket outside instead of a coat, I think I would have preferred it just a tad bit longer, but that's okay. I mostly wear high-waisted pants anyway, so it's fine. I just need to make sure I don't raise up my arms too high. And yeah, I also love the buttons that I went with. So yeah, all in all, it's a really beautiful piece. I just haven't worn it that much, so I'm not really sure on durability or like how it will wear. So I will definitely let you know in the coming year when I wear it some more. So therefore I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I think a 6. I really do love the color combination and the pattern was great. It's just a bit my own fault that I slightly knit it too short. But yeah, or maybe, no, I'll rate this a 7. Yeah, I really love how it looks. I think I just need to wear this more. So yeah, definitely deserves a 7. And then one last garment that I also just finished this December is my Christmas sweater. The Lumme by Sari Nordlund. I knit this using the Rerum Natura Gilead in this beautiful pink and beige as a contrast. And yeah, I've worked with this yarn before, so I knew that I really enjoyed this yarn. It is not soft, but also not itchy or rustic. It just feels very dry. It's a French yarn company, I believe, so it's from French sheep, I think. But it really looks very neat for the color work and ribbing also. Yeah, I think it's a perfect yarn for color work. I've also used this previously in just a simple stockinette sweater. And yeah, it's an Aran weight yarn, I believe. And it feels really light. It's not heavy. I used, I think, just slightly over 4 skeins of the main color. And then under 1 skein of the contrast color. This yarn comes in 100 gram skeins. So yeah, I've used less than 500 grams of yarn for this sweater. And yeah, this color work is just beautiful. I slightly adjusted the color work after this big flower here. I've repeated this pattern because I didn't want my yoke to be too deep, because that's something you could have with a round yoke. And it's also very oversized sweater, but I didn't want it to be that oversized, but I still wanted to fit around my shoulders and my bust. So I just made the yoke a tiny bit shorter, and then I knit the body and sleeves to my preferred length. I was slightly afraid when I had just finished it and blocked it and I tried it on that it was too big, too oversized to comfortably wear outside. I thought, well, maybe this is just something I can only wear inside the house when I'm a bit cold. But actually, after wearing it a bit more, I really enjoy going outside in it. I can just wear this as a warm layer, so no coat when it's not too cold. I've worn it on our Christmas family trip. And yeah, it's just a really cozy sweater. I also inserted a elastic in the collar so that it doesn't sit weirdly. So now it sits really nice. Yeah, this also is one of my favorites of this year. I really love this finished piece, and it's not too Christmassy, so I can definitely wear this until it's too warm when the spring comes. So I'm rating this a 10 out of 10. The pattern was really good. This was my first colorwork sweater and I think it's a really good one. It's just a simple round yoke, so you're not knitting any colorwork flat. And yeah, the colorwork on the sleeves is also really enjoyable and makes it tie together nicely. Yeah, 10 out of 10. So those were all my garments. Now I will move on to my accessories. I have quite a few. I will start maybe with the biggest one and also a very special one, because this is my wedding shawl from this year. I got married in September and yeah, I really wanted to make something that I could wear on my wedding day, but not the entire time, just when I was a bit chilly or to take some nice pictures. And so I knit the Birds of a Feather by Andrea Mowry in this beautiful light and dark purple combination. I used only one skein of the light color, which is the Heavenly Alpaca by the Mindful Creators. It's a hand-dyed yarn, so very light purple with some darker purple and pink speckles. And I thought it paired really well with this Sari yarn that I had from Ginger and Thyme in my stash. And I think this shawl is just stunning. It's mostly garter stitch and increasing, but then you also have these panels of some beautiful feather and fan lace, like on my Peacock tee. I also knit a Peacock scarf, by the way, this year, but that was a gift knit, so I don't have it anymore to show you, but go check out the previous podcast episode where I talk about it. I've really enjoyed this lace stitch pattern. And yeah, I think it's very subtle but stunning on this shawl. And yeah, I really enjoyed knitting this pattern. I'm thinking about making another one, maybe for my mom or my grandma, with different colors. This is very light and you could nicely drape it around your neck as more of a scarf, or wear it like this for more of a grandma look when you're a bit cold on your shoulders. So yeah, a really beautiful piece with a very special meaning behind, and one I will treasure for many, many years. Then recently I also knitted the very popular sailor slippers for myself. I've worn these already quite a lot because they are very warm and just perfect for the season. I've recently talked about these in my podcast episode, so if you want to know more, definitely go check that out. Yeah, and if you haven't seen these, well, these are just very popular slippers. They are knitted at quite a large gauge with large needles and thick yarn, and they turn out huge, but then you felt them in the washing machine and they shrink up and become pretty sturdy. And it's with these fun stripes and then a plain sole. Well, you can experiment with it yourself. I just followed the pattern for my first pair, and I will also make some more pairs for my family and friends who would like some in the coming year. Just slowly knitting on it. It doesn't take that long to knit these, and the yarn is Drop Snow, which is the recommended yarn, so very cheap. And yeah, it's just a fun project and quick palette cleanser to work on. Then I only have 2 finished pairs of socks this year, and I didn't even start them this year. I've been very low on the sock knitting this year, but that's okay. I have some beautiful garments and lovely other accessories that I knit for myself and as gifts, so it's totally fine. But yeah, the pairs of socks that I added to my knitting wardrobe is this pair of tulip socks by Stone Knits. This is from her book that I have, and yeah, I think they turned out really beautifully. They fit really well and I love wearing them when I'm cold. And another one is also by Stone Knits, and these are the Jellyfish socks. And I really love the color combination here. Yeah, not much else to say about these. If I had to rate them, maybe I'll give them a 9 out of 10. They were really lovely to knit. I love these colorwork motifs. And yeah, the pattern is really well, the pattern is very well written, and yeah, they fit really well. And I think they look like works of art. So yeah, I will be knitting more of these patterns in the coming year. But yeah, there's no rush in knitting more socks. I also knit one hat for myself. This is the adorable ginger hat by Adorable Knits. I've used another Dererum Natura yarn. This is the Ulysse, which is the thinner version of the Gilead, in this beautiful golden yellow color. This has also been on the needles for quite a while. I've started it in 2024 and only managed to finish it now because I really just wanted this off the needles so that I could also start the matching mittens. I did not finish those, sadly. I have just cast on the first one, but I will be in the coming year, I hope. So that I have a finished set. I think, yeah, this color looks really nice. And yeah, it fits. It fits. I've knitted the brim shorter. Normally you should do, well, according to the pattern, you should do a folded brim, but I just kept it simple because I was just sick and tired of this twisted rib. But yeah, the end result is really beautiful. And I also messed up some cables. Well, it doesn't look too bad. I just made the cable twist a bit too soon. But at least I'm consistent. But yeah, it's okay. It's a finished hat. Another cabled project that I have from this year is a tiny scarf. This is the Victoria scarf by Orsa Knits. And I cast this on our honeymoon this year. I just wanted a simple project. And yeah, this was definitely it. I've used a cashmere yarn by Gepard. And yeah, it's really soft, really dense. Also, I think the yarn is slightly thicker than what the pattern recommends. But I only had my 3.5mm needles with me, so I just went with it. But it blocked out nicely. So yeah, another very lovely accessory. Then I also knitted some mittens. The first one I finished this year is a pair of penny gloves. I was knitting on these while we went to London, as it's a simple stockinette pattern and you can just easily take it with you as it doesn't require that much yarn. I've used a hand-dyed yarn, I think by Olivia and Oliver Fibers, with a strand of mohair. And yeah, I've knit the cuff a lot shorter than in the pattern, but I really enjoy this length. It goes inside my coat, but it's not too long when I have a long sleeve shirt underneath. And yeah, I think these are really, really pretty. And yeah, I love wearing them when it's cold. Like right now, these are just perfect to have with me. And you can still use your fingers. So very much recommend this pattern. And then another pair of mittens that I knit are these ones. These are really a full pair of warm winter mittens. I have a second one here. I'll put them on for you. Here they are. Slightly looks a bit weird with bare arms, but yeah, here they are. They are on the bigger side. There's only one size in the pattern. And I used, I think, an Aran weight yarn. This is Roma Vival, I believe. It's a lovely yarn to work with. I really wanted to try it out, so I bought two colors, the pink and purple, one skein of each, to make a pair of mittens, so that I could try out the yarn, see how I feel about it. It is really rustic. So I don't think I'll make something with this yarn that will go close to my neck or something. This yarn is itchy and rustic, but yeah, very warm. And yeah, it looks beautiful. It's a perfect yarn for these type of mittens, I think. And yeah, I think the end result is great, but just they're slightly too big, I think. Or maybe I just need to get used to them a bit more, because they are very different from these ones that are very tight and fitting. Yeah, but yeah, I'm very happy with these. I don't know if I said it, but the pattern is the Speedy Selbu mittens by Skeindeer Knits. I think this would also make a great gift knit, but maybe in a different yarn if you're not sure if the person who's receiving them can tolerate this type of rustic wool. And then we're already on to my last knit that I have here. Well, two last ones. And that's the Rybka pouch by Red and Sea Witch. I made this one first, the purple one, tiny fishy, and I use it to store my earpods. It's just the perfect size and shape. And I just put this inside my purse. I don't trust it hanging outside because I don't want them to fall out. It doesn't close that well. If you're holding it like this, it stays. But yeah, I'm just afraid that it will fall out. It's never fallen out in my purse though. But yeah, it's very cute to have. And with this little button that I sewed on here. Yeah, it's very fun knit. And then afterwards I also knitted a longer one to store my sunglasses. So this is, I think, also a really great gift knit. Here I did do the I-cord tie. For this one I just did a simple chain of crochet. And yeah, for this one I went with the yellowish green button. Yeah, I think they're very fun and I will definitely be making more of these again in 2026. For the yarns I've used a strand of fingering weight hand-dyed yarn with a strand of drop skid silk, because that yarn can be slightly itchier than other mohairs, but I think for a little accessory like this, it doesn't matter if it's itchy because you're not wearing it. And to my hands it feels pretty soft. Yeah, these were both yarns. Well, all these yarns were what I had in stash. It doesn't use that much yarn, so perfect for some leftovers. So that was everything I knit. Now let's end with some of my favorites. My favorite designer of this year is definitely Sari Nordlund. The Lumme pullover was stunning, very well written. I think I want to make the matching Lumme socks this year, so that I can wear those on Christmas next year. I also already have some of her other patterns in my library, a few sweaters and then also some lovely tiny scarves. I really want to make some more tiny scarves in the coming year, because like this small one, it was a quick project and it's really fun and also nice to have a tiny scarf to keep your neck warm when it's just slightly chilly. And they also make great gift knits. For my favorite yarn, it's definitely the West Yorkshire Spinners Blue-Faced Leicester Fleece, DK. I have another skein here. Fleece Blue-Faced Leicester by West Yorkshire Spinners. This is a different color because I'm actually knitting another sweater already in this beautiful yarn. It's a test knit for the Creabea and it will be a lovely zippered sweater. I can tolerate this yarn very well against my neck. It's really soft to me and this color is just stunning. This is again purchased in London and yeah, I'm really happy I get to make another sweater with this yarn. They have other beautiful colors that I like as well, so probably in the future whenever I visit London again I will be looking out for this yarn again. Yeah, you only need about 5 or 6 skeins for a large size sweater. For the zippered sweater I bought 6 skeins. Well, I originally wanted to make the zipper sweater by Petiteknit, but now I'm just knitting another zipper sweater, but I assume I will be using around the same amount of yarn. But yeah, absolutely my favorite yarn. And then I also wanted to talk to you about my favorite tool this year, which is definitely this. This is the Flox Floops. I have talked about this in a podcast, I believe, or in my pattern roundup where I talk about cabled knits, because this is perfect for cables. I discovered that I really enjoyed working with this tool when I was knitting this scarf, because I took it with me. I thought, well, it will be easy to just throw in the bag instead of like the metal cable needles, which can tend to fall out. This really keeps your stitches sturdy on this needle. And yeah, I just find it very easy to cable with. And it's actually a multi-tool. You could also use it as a stitch marker or to keep some stitches on hold for you. So definitely recommend this tool. Yeah, it says here cable needle, stitch holder, stitch marker, seam baster and drop stitch fixer. A great tool to have in your knitting pouch. So I think that's it for this year. Then all that's left for me to do is wish you a happy end of year and happy new year if you're watching this in 2026. And thank you for following me this year if you've been a subscriber. I really enjoy making these kind of videos. I also enjoy making my podcasts. It really is kind of like a diary for me. I like to watch back on them to see where I was a year ago, what I knitted then, and how much I've grown now. I really think my knitting has improved over the year. I've done some new techniques like colorwork sweater I hadn't done before. And yeah, I keep growing each year. I hope you enjoyed watching my channel over the past year and will be watching again in the future. And yeah, happy knitting!